In my previous video, I designed my perfect, ideal bedroom because, as it is actually written in John 14 verse 2, in my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. But what if we could actually choose our own design? My idea was to create a series of videos to put out or to lay out some ideas of what I would consider to be a perfect place. At least as far as I'm concerned. You can use a pencil, pen, and design your own stuff. So previously I did the bedroom. As you can see here, there's a more like perspective illustration that I made here. It gives you maybe a better idea. Could have shaded a bit. It's true. It's a bit confusing. Some of the lines are a bit strange. But today is a different day, and I wanted to put some ideas down on what the global concept of the house or the mansion could be if I were to have carte blanche, as it is actually said. Alors, the French way, carte blanche, hein, n'est-ce pas? C'est formidable. Because I speak French as well. So, what shape could you give the building? Let me see. I'm not going to use pen and draw all over it. I'm just going to straight use the ball pen and immediately make some rough sketches. I hope I'm not going to make them too small, otherwise I'm not going to be able to see anything. So I like rectangles. When I was a kid, I liked circles, and I just realized that circles don't really make good plans because, well, if you have a circle, okay, it might look good, because basically what I had designed was like something like this, and so of course you would have like a shade at the bottom, and my idea was to have like pillars at the bottom, you know, series of pillars that would hold the structure up, although I don't have any idea how gravity would work in heaven, and have like 2 stories. So basically that could even be like a house with windows like this, or even circular windows at the bottom. It was kind of funny to play around with it, but when you look at the layout, all of a sudden you realize that, well, it's kind of annoying to put furniture inside there. And then how do you actually divide it? Okay, at some point you have to break the basic concept of circles, because you will need something angular. Doesn't matter how you start, at some point the spaces will become complicated. I don't know, maybe in the middle you have staircases. Okay, I mean, you have to come up somehow, somewhere. So circles don't work. At least this is what I figured out. Sadly enough, because I did really like the concept of having, like, I don't know, like if you're inside, having a nice, like, circular window. And I don't know. This was really what bugged me, because I like the idea of maybe having like a wardrobe, staircases that could lead to somewhere. And here was the glass. I always put glass in white and blue, sorry. But I'm saying it's totally ridiculous. Of course it's blue. Blue is wonderful. Okay, why blue? Because glass tends to have a bluish tint in general, and it reflects the sun. Not the sun. It reflects the sky. Although I have no idea what the sky's going to look like in heaven, but doesn't really matter. Well, then again, if you're not a Christian, you don't really care about that because for you anyway, after you die, you don't go anywhere. So, but you're going to have a kind of a shock because apparently reality is a bit different. So I wanted to have this kind of effect if I could actually make my own design. And maybe even have a balcony, so outside, I don't know what it would look like, maybe like a flying saucer kind of thing. Outside it would maybe be something that encircles the entire structure. So you would basically have like, ooh, my fingers are totally not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You would have something like a double ring. And of course you can just fill it up the way you want and put, I don't know, any kind of furniture, books, or I don't know, something bigger. Well, you can fill it up with anything you want, basically. You're free to do whatever you want. But all this to say, I scrapped the idea of having something circular because it just doesn't make much sense in the idea that I want something more functional. And there are two spaces I'm mostly interested in, which is the kitchen and the living room, and a separate space for, as you can guess, since we are not going to be either married or having children there directly, we will live alone, and then you don't need tons of other rooms. However, since we can do anything you want, basically we could still work, and apparently, as far as I have understood through other people who had near-death experiences and who I believe give a quite accurate statement. Well, go to Randy Kay. His YouTube channel is quite interesting. He interviews a lot of people who had experiences of life after death, well, near-death experiences. Actually, several seem to mention that we will have stuff to do. Whatever we love doing, we will be able to do it there as well. If you like working with wood, you could actually become a carpenter. If you like to paint or draw, you will be able to paint or draw. If you like to study, you will be able to do more studies. I mean, apparently there is stuff to be done in heaven. It's not like we're going to sit around and sing praises 24/7. Which apparently you also can. You can do that too. So, but if I had just a perfect house, that means that I would need a kitchen because I like cooking. The bedroom, here, bedroom, okay, bedroom, whatever. Basically, it's a room I hate the most. Not hate, but I think it's totally pointless because all I do is lie down, close my eyes, and, well, I'm sorry to brag, but I can never see the fifth sheep. Okay, I just count to 4 and it's over. So I sleep very easily, and when I wake up, in any case, I just get out of bed. Game over. So for me, the bedroom is not the most useless place, but it's the place that needs the less development or the less details. Kitchen, super important. Plus living. Okay, kitchen, living room. And then I need an important space for artsy. It's stuff. Okay, now artsy stuff, meaning painting, drawing, illustrations. So I need a space for painting and another section where I can just have a nice desk and draw, like I basically like doing. So now, ideally, I'd like to have two separate floors for these two things. So, two floors. Yo, beautiful. Two floors. Oh la la. So, now 2 floors for one floor for drawing, for sure. That would be the upper floor. And the upper floor, the other floor. Sometimes I start rolling the R's when I don't need it. So, the lower floor would be for kitchen and living. And no, I don't want them to be on poles or pillars. Not interested. I have some other design that I'm interested in, that I got inspired by a drawing that I saw that I think is quite interesting. I don't know if we will have the possibility to design something like this, but if I can, I'd like to have it. Which means that if I have like a, let's just call that a, okay, let's start simple. Okay, in a way that you can see it. House. Okay, block. Let's call it a block, right? So, and balcony. Next to water, if possible. Now, of course, I have no idea how this is going to work out. I really like the idea of everything being glass from one side to the other. The side does not need to be glass. Glass could actually be on the back side. So let me just, like this, on the other side as well. Ideally, the kitchen would be here. Okay, kitchen, and here would be the living. Does that make sense to you? I don't know. Well, it makes sense to me. On the top, basically, would be wow. The rest. That would need not necessarily glass all over the place. I want light, and I would probably want something like a glass roof that allows the light to come straight down into the whole hall, because I want this to be relatively wide. One section for drawing, that would probably be a third max, and this section for the paintings, because the paintings need to, well, I usually start several paintings at the same time and they need to dry for a reason or another. It's annoying. Well, oil dries less fast, so if I want to layer oil, I don't really do the alla prima, which means that you have to start with oil and then go through the entire colors, and well, you have to start with the darkest to go to the lightest, because otherwise you're gonna smudge the colors. It's just It's very annoying. I decided not to. I decided to go through another route that has been taught by Andrew Tischler, who you should basically go check out if you're interested in oil paintings. He has some very nice videos, tutorials that you can get on his website that taught me pretty much 99% of everything I do and know. So I use a medium that allows the oil to dry a bit faster. That means that after a few days I can layer the oil instead of waiting a week or two. So yeah. So I need the space here to be bright, as bright as possible. Side windows, not necessarily. Could actually be just closed as is. Unless I have a small cafeteria on the side, and then, why not? That could actually be interesting if I had like a tiny bit here, like a balcony. And here, a small door. And a cafe. I'm talking about coffee, actually. I'm almost out. Okay. So, now this is not the final design, okay? This is just the ideas that are important to me. And now here, where do you squeeze in the bedroom? Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet. This is just my initial design. That's the beginning. So I have to figure that out, I guess. That's it. That's for this time. Just to give you an idea of what I will be looking for in future videos. Kitchen living on one floor. Artsy floor. Drawing, illustrations, painting. And another floor. The layout will totally change. And it's not going to be the flying saucer that you see here. Okay. Although I did really enjoy the idea when I was 16 or 17 years old. This is totally over now. I am more looking into something that has real angles so that you can actually have furniture that fits and is not a headache to produce for any carpenter, no matter how skilled they would be. Anyway. And yes, I know it's still a Christian channel. I still believe that you need to give your life to Christ. Otherwise, you're going to be in for a hard awakening. And you can do it at any time you want, as long as you're still alive. All you have to do is give your heart to Jesus and proclaim that He is your Lord and Savior. And stop doing what is not biblical, which is another part of the adventure that you have to step into. So, okay, next page is still blank, but if you stick around and you want to know more about where my little project is going, then you can always subscribe and, well, like or whatever you want to do. After all, I will continue this even if I have 0 subscribers, which is exactly how this is going to go on. So, yeah, that's it. Okay. Have a great day. And God bless you.